All right. What's up, guys? Figured we'd start off today by talking a little bit of quarterback situation because as it's been reported today by pretty much every media outlet, it seems that Mac Jones is coming to the 49ers. Let's go, Mac Jones. Come on down. We still have 3 weeks until the draft, but hey, Mac Jones is going to be a Niner, according to Schefter, according to Matt Miller, according to any of these media outlets out there that, get texts from anonymous sources. Mac Jones is the guy. Let's go. So should we get excited now? Because if the media is reporting it, then it's true, right? That we're getting Mac Jones. Schefter said he'd be shocked, right? DJ Daniel Jeremiah, that's all he's hearing is Mac Jones at 3 to the 49ers. So do we start buying our Mac Jones jerseys yet? Do we do that now? That's how it works, right? Because when the media comes out and says something like that means it's true, isn't it? Right? Because I'm thinking back, I just like to go back and look at situations like, 2018 draft. I think all the way up until literally the night of the draft, Sam Darnold was going number 1 to the Browns. Anonymous AFC executive saying that it's Sam Darnold going to the Browns. It was locked in stone. Every mock, all these same people, Schefter, hey, it's Sam Darnold, number 1 to the Browns. Well, I'm confused because isn't Sam Darnold playing for the Carolina Panthers now? In way from trade from the New York Jets, who were picking at 3. Oh, that's right. He didn't go number 1, like they all said. He didn't. So, should we believe them? Should we buy our Mac Jones jerseys right now? Should we? Because that's what we're being told nonstop, left and right. Ever since this situation has happened with the 49ers moving up to pick 3, that's all we hear about. Like more so than sitting at 12, which seemed like the appropriate value for Mac Jones at that time to be available at 12. It's insane how like instantly the 49ers move up to 3 and like clockwork, bang. The 49ers are selecting Mac Jones, if you haven't heard. Thank you, Schefter. Matt Miller, again, was by a team employee. A team employee told Matt Miller that there's a 95% chance that Mac Jones will be a 49er. All right, there you have it. So let's go. Are we all we're going to go buy our Mac Jones jerseys now? It's 95% going to be the guy. So do we go buy the Mac Jones jerseys now? Because according to Matt Miller in his article that he released, there's no cards left to hide. Trevor Lawrence is going number 1 to the Jags. Zach Wilson's going number 2 to the Jets. So what benefit would the 49ers have in wanting Mac Jones? There's none, according to Matt Miller. But what I find interesting, especially since the 49ers have been inquiring about every single available quarterback under the sun since January, and you have a quarterback currently on your roster in Jimmy Garoppolo, who I'm assuming wants to get traded himself. I can't imagine that he wants to stick around here much longer. I can't imagine his family wants to watch him endure what he's been through and continue to go through the last year and continue to go through with a situation with a rookie quarterback coming in. So in my opinion, there is an angle to all of this because you don't want a Mac Jones to fall into a quarterback needy team like the Chicago Bears, like the Patriots. You want to ensure that no one falls to those guys to then in return ensure that your quarterback that you have on your roster is valuable if you did decide to trade him. So if the 49ers are actively looking to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, it would make plenty of sense to, again, push this narrative about Mac Jones being the pick at 3 to ensure not only that, but we've already heard news about Atlanta getting calls for teams who want to move up to 4. So as we've talked about, it's going to be 5 quarterbacks up, 5 quarterbacks down. It's going to be, we're going to see 5 quarterbacks go. And that's just how it's going to play out. And that's how a team with a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo, who you can sell for assets, you want that to happen. You have vested interests to ensure all 5 of those quarterbacks go in the top 5. You want to see that happen, because then all the other teams who were quote unquote left at the altar, what are they going to do? You think the Chicago Bears are really sitting there excited about going into this next season with Andy Dalton as QB1 as they posted to their social media? I don't think so. I really don't think that's the case. So in all honesty, this just seems like, again, it's a lot of noise. And I've got my aluminum tinfoil hat on. It never leaves me. It never leaves me when I was told Sam Darnold was a pick, and I said, no, it's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback prospect than Sam Darnold. Never left me then, turned out to be right. And I just won't allow it to happen now. So again, you just have to pay attention to the noise. All the noise is coming from media outlets. When you listen to the football guys, when you listen to the guys who understand the X's and O's, they understand what goes into being a football player. There's not one person who has a bad thing to say about Justin Fields, Trey Lance. And again, we're so hyper on Mac Jones because it's being shoved in our face to the point where, like I said, are we buying our Mac Jones jerseys now? Like, is that what we're doing? Because it's a 95% chance that Mac Jones is going to be the quarterback. Why the hell would anyone say that? And unless there is some type of something that is driving behind the scenes. And again, we know Kyle Shanahan is a gamer of all gamers. He knows exactly what he's doing. So I love it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Mac Jones at 3. I can't wait. If that's the truth, it's gonna lead up to the most epic reaction video of all time from this account. And I'm all for it. So keep it coming. I just find it interesting at this point when teams are trying to move still to 4, 5 teams are looking for their quarterbacks. You have a quarterback on your roster who is a top 20 quarterback, one healthy, who could demand value, could demand assets. I got my guys watching me on Instagram and YouTube. I love you guys. But again, you can do there is things to do and gain from pushing Mac Jones up the boards. I really do. Because if the 49ers are drafting at 3, trading 3 first-round picks and a compensatory second, just like I said when they made the move, that to me tells me that the 49ers have no future with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's just, unfortunately, the plain fact of the matter when you're putting your business hat on, and we're talking business in regards to the football of business, and we're trying to remove our emotion away from the players. Obviously, we like these players a lot, and we have become emotionally invested in them and a lot of those things. But at a certain point, we have to be able to understand this is a multi-billion-dollar industry that we're talking about. And at the end of the day, in this current time frame, these players are assets. They're chips to be traded and dealt, and they're constantly going up in value and declining in value. So for how I see this, the 49ers are sitting on a chip, and that chip is Jimmy Garoppolo, and his value has gone all over the place. It's gone all over the place. And I really think that they are trying to foster as much, supply and demand. The supply and demand model, I think, is alive and well here, because we all know how hard it is to find competent quarterback play in the NFL. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. So with the 49ers, they have the opportunity to get the future of the franchise at number 3. Honestly, all 5 of these quarterbacks are plug and play. They're ready to start day one. I don't think it benefits the 49ers by keeping Jimmy Garoppolo, creating a controversy, putting your locker room in a situation to, again, have to defend Jimmy Garoppolo while wanting to nurture a new up-and-coming rookie. To me, that seems like a problem. While on top of that, you're not generating value in that quarterback, because if Jimmy Garoppolo comes out and plays in 2021 and does not play well or gets hurt, you have torpedoed any value that you could have built up this offseason to then get some compensation in return. Maybe get one of those future first-round picks back. Maybe, again, stack different types of players or assets that you could fit into this roster and this team wanting to compete for a championship in 2021. Now, I get it. Everyone's going to point to there's never been a rookie quarterback to lead a team to Super Bowl. Okay, well, in a Kyle Shanahan scheme, I think Kyle Shanahan can do a lot of things for a rookie quarterback to ensure that the game is manageable so that they could work towards that goal. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're in the business of football right now. Right now is business time, where we have to remember that we kind of have to put our fandom to the side, and we really have to start viewing these guys like assets if we're going to really be critically thinking about all this information that's coming out. Because I understand you, like me, you guys as fans of this team who want to see Super Bowls and want to see championships, this kind of news can be off-putting. It can kind of put your head through the spin cycle, and it's really hard to understand what's going on, especially when my accounts like me are posting everything, because that's typically what we do. We understand the news, so we post it. But at the same time, there's an opportunity to take a step back, to understand when there's this much smoke, there's always an opportunity that there's real fire, but there's also an opportunity that it could be a smoke screen. And if there's anything that I've learned from watching Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch operate the last, it's going up, what are we, 4 years now? It just feels to me like an opportunity to, again, work the supply and demand model. So in order to make the demand greater, you have to ensure the supply is scarce. And if you're pumping up Mac Jones stock to number 3, again, if they don't take Mac Jones at 3, no one cares. Literally, if the 49ers do not take Mac Jones at 3, no one cares. Because obviously the fan base is excited that they went and got a Justin Fields, a Trey Lance. Because I think it's clear as day, there's maybe like 3% of the fan base who would right now kind of rally behind Mac Jones. Other than that, it's to the point where it's almost like full mutiny if they were to go Mac Jones. But again, like I said, it's business time for them. They got things they need to do. It is in their benefit to have Mac Jones tied to them at 3. It really is. It really is, in my opinion. So if they go Mac Jones at 3 and that's the actual pick, then 49ers fans will be upset for the first couple days, and then we'll figure out a way to convince ourselves to be okay with it. That's just how it works. But again, until that meantime, we're going to have a lot of fun debating it. So it's just an interesting situation. And again, I'm going to start trying to like answer some of your guys' questions. Again, we're running multiple streams right now, so I'm going to do my best to be able to read through all this stuff. But again, Like, I before I hopped on here, I did a search of Sam Darnold, back, being a number one pick in 2018. Mike Mayock, I love Mike Mayock. I think Mike Mayock is a legend in regards to the scouting community. Absolutely deserving of the job that he got with the Raiders, being their GM. Dream come true for him. He's a guy that I've always had great respect for. His mock 2 days before the draft had Sam Darnold going number one, just like everyone else. Everyone in the world had Sam Darnold going to the Browns number one. The media, anonymous scouts, executives, everything you heard, it was Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold. And it's, again, the point is that take the media with a grain of salt. Just again, they are connected to agents, they are connected to front offices, they want information. So again, there's always going to be a back and forth pull from these guys. So just again, if we just take a step back, I know I'm getting a lot of DMs. I can't even keep up on my DMs. Like, I apologize if you guys DM me. My DMs are in shambles. I try my best to get through them, but at the end of the day, it honestly just feels like a lot of smoke. Just feels like a lot of smoke regarding the situation. And unless I hear it from Kyle and John and the organization themselves, I don't believe anything. And even at that point, I think John and Kyle are so good at gaming the system that I have a hard time believing them sometimes. But that's how it should be. If I was a GM, if I was a head coach, that's exactly what I would do. I would be sending out all kinds of smoke screens. I would be like, hey, look over here while we're doing this over here. That's how it should be. So I just want to reiterate to fans, again, according to the media, it's done. We're taking Mac at 3. 95%. We're taking Mac at 3. And okay, that's fine. That is what it is. I don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it. We can, we have brains like everyone else. So I'm gonna do what I've always done. I listen to the football guys. I listen to the guys who know X's and O's, who knows what's going on the field. Those are the guys that I put my opinion and value, what they have to say, much more than someone saying anonymous source texted me or employee inside the building saying it's 95% chance Mac Jones is a pick. Because until then, anything can happen. You always hear me say in the NFL, it's not done until it's done. So 95% means nothing to me. I think they put it out there because fans will hear that number 95% and they will be like, oh, that means it's essentially done, right? No, that 5% that they left out is where everything gets done. Everything in the NFL gets done in that last 5%, that last leg of the situation. So again, it's just how you approach these narratives. You read through the context, you try and disseminate the information. Again, I have some people too that are legitimately locked in to the 49ers, and they're saying the same thing to me. And I respect them and I respect their opinion and all of those things. But at the end of the day, I still have to hold true to the things that I believe. And the things that I believe are, it's not done until it's done. And with how I'm looking at these prospects, with how everything has gone till this point, the connections that Kyle Shanahan has to Justin Fields, it just makes it hard for me to really just buy into this. I mean, at one point, right, we had real sources telling us, other people in the 49ers community, that Stafford was on his way. But at the last second, that last 5%, like we're talking about, some sucker came in and overpaid, and that sucker turned out to be the Rams. They gave up quite a bit for Matthew Stafford and his services over there with the Rams. So again, it's not done until it's done. 95%, that number is meaningless to me. And the fact that someone like Matt Miller, who is smart enough and been doing this long enough to understand that 95% means nothing. You can tell me 100%, and I'll still not believe you until it actually happens. Because again, in my opinion, it's not done until it's done. So I just wanted to come on and rant a little bit. Obviously, this is going to be an ongoing discussion for some time until John or Kyle comes out and says it themselves. But again, we just got a report yesterday that Kyle Shanahan hasn't even divulged his quarterback evaluations to his assistant coaches. Now, that to me seems like smoke in of itself. Like, I feel like that is a little far-fetched. So I just feel like based on, like, just let's take a look here at all the smoke 49ers fans have endured this year. Again, all the smoke started, if you really want to look into this, all the smoke started with Jimmy Garoppolo not practicing in Arizona. It took an Arizona reporter, not affiliated with the 49ers, releasing a workout video of Jimmy Garoppolo practicing with the 49ers, but not playing, but looking perfectly healthy, for the smoke to start. That's when everything started. So Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play the rest of the year. It's come out and it's been reported, whether it's true or not, that both sides agreed to kind of put Jimmy on the shelf to ensure he wasn't going to get injured. And yeah, so that was at the end of the year. Since then, what has happened? You guys have seen my QB charts, my QB, like, terrible diagram that I put all the QB faces on. There's probably over 20 QBs on there that have been rumored to the 49ers in the last 3 months. So we start with the Jimmy situation. Then we translate to this offseason where we have been in conversations or rumored to be attached to almost every single available quarterback imaginable. To now, we move up to 3. The second we move up to 3, boom, more smoke. So I apologize to you guys if I don't believe these things, like, or I am highly skeptical of them, extremely skeptical of them, because again, part of what I do is I try and scout Kyle. I try and scout his tendencies. I try and follow how he manages things. I try and see the types of things that he does repeatedly over and over again. I talk a lot about last draft season, when they did the in-home tour of their war rooms and what have you, and both Kyle and John had game film on their screens, and they were of an Alabama game and a Kentucky game. Instantly after that, what did everyone talk about? Oh, it's Judy or Ruggs for the 49ers at wide receiver. Clearly that wasn't the case. And then it was Lynn Bowden from Kentucky. Oh, he was the other guy that the 49ers were going to draft because it was on their TVs when they did that situation. But watching it live in real time, I was like, oh, these guys know what they're doing. These guys are knowing exactly that we are looking at everything but them. We're looking at all this stuff in the background to see if we could pick any clues. And they gave us the clues. They gave us the Easter eggs. We took it. We ran with it. And they didn't draft anyone from offense on Alabama or Kentucky. So, again, it's just these guys playing the game, in my opinion. And there is some, and like I said, to refute what Mac Miller said, or Mac Miller, to refute what Matt Miller said about how there's no leverage to gain. There's absolutely leverage to gain, especially if you're trying to move Jimmy Garoppolo, which is honestly what it all comes back to, is because I still feel like they're not done. I feel like they are trying to move Jimmy Garoppolo. That's been my feeling all offseason. Clearly, the flirting with quarterbacks nonstop would play into that. And of course, moving up to 3 to get a franchise quarterback, that tells you everything you need to know about how the 49ers view the future with Jimmy Garoppolo. And they played this well. The kind of maneuvering through the offseason, the narratives to then saying Jimmy's our guy, all that kind of stuff, to even now moving up to 3. Oh, we're going to draft a Trey Lance, sit him behind Jimmy Garoppolo. It's going to work great. But honestly, I don't feel that's the case. I honestly feel like the 49ers are buying some time. They're waiting to the draft, and we're going to see what happens come draft time. We're going to see if Jimmy gets moved come draft time. Because, again, we have to put our business caps on and start looking at this objectively from multiple different perspectives to try and understand it in some sense. So, honestly, that's just kind of what it feels like. It's just there's a lot to maneuver. There's a lot to go through. There's a lot of smoke to try and sift through. But again, the fact that the media is saying Mac Jones is the guy and how hard they are pushing it, because again, even the football guys like Daniel Jeremiah, Blicky Brooks, say what you want about them. They dive into the tape. They do tape study. They do tape work. They do all that kind of stuff. I've listened to multiple of their podcasts, and they're just like, we don't see it. Like, we don't see the talent being like matching top 3, top 5, top 10. I think DJ's more opposed to putting Mac Jones in like the top 15, top 20. Bucky Brooks came out today and said he wouldn't even put Mac Jones in the first round. So again, you also have to think about it. It's not just taking Mac Jones at 3. You're trading 3 future first round or you're trading 2 future firsts. You swapped 3 and 12 and a 2022 compensatory third. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to move up and grab a guy like Mac Jones. So again, we'll see. We'll wait and see. Because it's hard. It's like, what is Mac Jones' evaluation without number 1 wide receivers that are going to be first round draft picks? Without a dominant offensive line. I'm not sure we've seen too many situations without that. So again, it's just going to be interesting. We're going to try and do our best to cover it as objectively as possible. Because it's just a lot of smoke. It's just a lot of smoke coming through. With all the situation, with this whole situation at 3, we still have plenty of time to go. But it's really going to be interesting. I'm going to start asking some questions or answering some questions. Mark on YouTube says, do you think Quinn Miners will be there for us at 43? I think so. I think that is like a perfect slot for Quinn. right after the Senior Bowl, I had him as a bottom round 1 talent. But because of the position he plays interior offensive line, center guard. It's just not a highly valuable position. The best centers typically go bottom of round 1 anyways. It's just the unfortunate nature of being an interior offensive line. They aren't valued regardless of how important they are. Sooner or later, we're going to change that. Sooner or later, we got to give that interior offensive line the credit that they deserve. They need the value and the respect. Man, get these guys some more love, because they're extremely important to the offense and how it operates. But with Quinn, I think 43 will be perfect. He's right there. He should be available. A guy like Landon Dickerson could fall because of the injury, but honestly, again, the football guys, you can tell the difference between the media guys and the football guys. The football guys have gotten their hands on Landon Dickerson's tape, and they are like, yeah, he's one of the best interior offensive linemen in this class. So I would be less inclined to see Landon fall. The only reason he would fall into the second is because of the medical concerns. With Quinn, the only reason why he would fall is he didn't have 2020 tape. He is a D3 kid, but his testing is off the charts. He ran a sub 4.540 at 320 pounds. Like, what? That doesn't happen. Big boys don't move like that. Quinn is a unicorn. He's special. He's going to be a special player. So I think he will be available. Or he could. I think he's going to go day 2, but right in those first couple picks, day 2. It's going to be really, really interesting to see. So Belo said he told me last time we're doing this live. He said they're keeping Jimmy this year, and you'll see he'll have a great year. Next offseason, we'll unload him. I think that's how it's being packaged to us. But again, we're only thinking about this thing from the 49ers perspective. How is Jimmy doing? How is our guy Jimmy Garoppolo doing mentally, physically? Like, this guy cannot be happy. Kyle Shanahan talked about it. Kyle Shanahan talked about him being pissed and, not being too particularly thrilled that the 49ers moved up to 3, because obviously we understand what that indicates. That means Jimmy Garoppolo's time is done. Whether it's this year, next year, the following year, it doesn't matter. What that means is the team has made the investment to go up and get their guy. And not only like he fell into their lap at 12, they traded the future. And when I say the future, the draft picks and the capital to go up and get that guy. So in my opinion, like, again, from a business sense, and again, looking at this from the player's perspective, based on what Jimmy's gone through, we talked about the situation in Arizona that's led up to this offseason and him constantly having to be told that he's the 49ers quarterback. He's the 49ers quarterback. Oh, we like Deshaun. No, but Jimmy's the quarterback. No, we like Sam Darnold. No, but Jimmy's the quarterback. Oh, we like Teddy Britt. No. Like, after a while, and then especially the 49ers put their money where their mouth is and leverage the future of the franchise to get their future quarterback. I would have to imagine Jimmy's like, get me the hell out of here. Like, get me out of the Bay Area, get me to Chicago, get me back to the Boston. Like, Boston fans love Jimmy Garoppolo. Boston fans love Jimmy. And it's wild because Jimmy led the 49ers 10 minutes away from the Super Bowl. And, under the circumstances of that being his first full year as a starter, coming off ACL injury, there's a lot of things against him, and he still played really, really well. But you wouldn't know that from the from the fans' takes. You wouldn't know that from the way we talk about him, the way he's talked about on Twitter. You would have no idea that happened. So again, you have to. It takes two sides to tango, and honestly, if I'm Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm like, get me the hell out of the Bay Area. Get me out of here. I'm not like, because again, like I said, not only is the Jimmy Garoppolo coming out and playing poorly next year affect the 49ers' value to trade him, it affects Jimmy Garoppolo's value to get a job somewhere else. If someone trades for Jimmy Garoppolo, that is a sign of investment and belief in Jimmy Garoppolo to be the quarterback for that team. I would imagine that Jimmy Garoppolo wants that. I would imagine that Jimmy Garoppolo wants a team to say, you know what, Jimmy, we're going to send the 49ers 2 seconds because we believe that you can be the quarterback of our team. Clearly, it's not going well the situation in San Francisco has taken a turn. They're moving in a different direction. We want to move in a direction with you, being the quarterback of our team. I would imagine that's what Jimmy wants. I mean, think about it. We're all human at the end of the day. Could you imagine being in that kind of employment situation and having to deal with what Jimmy has gone through in regards to the media and all that kind of stuff? I imagine Jimmy wants to get out of here. I imagine Jimmy wants to go to a place where he can find an opportunity to be successful yet again. I think that would really benefit him well. Wow, these numbers on Instagram just shot up real fast, real quick. Hello, if you guys are just joining. That was wild. We just shot up like 100 people real quick on Instagram. So again, there's so many moving parts. There's so many moving parts to this. But I would have to imagine Jimmy Garoppolo is like, get me the hell out of San Francisco. Like, get me out of here. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of getting dragged. I'm tired of like my own front office constantly showing me again and again and again that I'm not in their future plans. Get me out. Like, that's just how I view it from his perspective. Like, why would you want to be here? Like, why? So we'll see what happens there. Okay. Let me sift through my 5 bajillion chats to see the next question. Let's see here. Again, shout out. We're still doing this, the Facebook, YouTube, Instagram always popping. But I appreciate, there's a ton of comments on Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate you guys a lot. I think we're gonna have to keep doing this. I think we're on the start of something. So Jason says, you know, that's the thing. Why haven't we heard from Jimmy? And Jimmy is not going to come out and say nothing. I don't think Jimmy's been on social media since like 2013. Jimmy only does interviews and things like that in season. We just don't hear from Jimmy, and good for Jimmy, man. Good for Jimmy for somehow figuring out this guy. Oh, nope, that's not what I was trying to do. Thank you. We appreciate that. It's getting there. It's getting there. We want it to get a little better. So we haven't heard from Jimmy. I mean, we haven't heard from Jimmy. Ask George. George just jumped in. Oh, So we got George. If you guys are on YouTube, Facebook, all that crap, Kittle's in the chat on Instagram. He's letting us know that Jimmy did text him back. So that's huge. That's absolutely huge because it had been a while from the last we heard. We're still wanting to hear from Jimmy. We would love to hear from Jimmy. But at least George is getting his text back, so we appreciate that. That's great insight for us. So he's communicating with his teammates. That's good. We want that because again, what we are talking about is Jimmy's got to be wanting something nice for himself. Jimmy's got to have to be wanting a situation where he feels wanted, welcomed. Oh, George got a call from Jimmy. Now we're talking. Look at this. Now we're talking. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. So, all right, breaking news, guys. Go start posting it. Jimmy called and texted George back. That's fantastic. Hey, George, thanks for popping in, bro. We big time appreciate you around here. You know that. Man, that's funny though. God, I love George, man. Dude cracks me up. Never change, George. Never change. This guy has see what George has done for us, and I don't think a lot of us realize with this crazy just noise around the quarterbacks. George has given us a little comedic relief through that with his stuff on Twitter. All of that is kind of breaking it up a little bit, which has been super nice. So George, please keep doing that. We need you more than ever now because we have 3 months of nonstop quarterback talk, and I'm gonna pull my beard hair off or something. Get the hell out. Get. We got bugs flying around here. What the heck? That's so funny. That's so funny. So again, what we were talking about when George popped on was, or the thing, the question that was asked is, why haven't we heard from Jimmy? Well, George has heard from Jimmy, so that's good. That's what you want to hear. And so hopefully everything's going well. But with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's always been behind the scenes, calm, cool, collected. He's not going to be on Twitter anymore. That's why we brought up the whole Jimmy Tweets segment that we used to do all the time. But it would be great to hear from Jimmy. But honestly, I think Jimmy's going to keep laying low, and obviously, rightfully so. So if George, you're still on, all the people are loving you over here on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, the best tight end in the league. Let's go. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. Kittle's gonna join me one of these times. I know it. It's gonna happen. Yeah, we hit 1K subs on Instagram or YouTube. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Jason Morales wants a shout out, George. I think George is gone. I think George dude, I love George, man. He knows how to get to me too. He knows I love hearing that Jimmy called him. That's so funny. So again, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I am completely sidetracked now. Thank you, George. Thank you for derailing me in my thought process, but I will allow it any single time. You can do that to me whenever you want, George. My YouTube channel is the same thing, the SF Niners. We appreciate any subscriptions, any subs. We're doing a lot of stuff over there. So that would be a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I know what I said. I know what I said. Oh man, see, I'm completely. Tell him, JD, no pause. We don't pause around here. Let's go. We don't pause. We just keep rolling. We steamroll through the pauses. We steamroll through the susses. It doesn't matter. We just keep rolling because that's what we do. Oh man, that was fun. It's super hot in here. I'm red like the Kool-Aid man. All right. Ask me some questions. I'm turning it over to you guys. Ask me questions. You guys are wild. Oh my goodness. Legendary. All right, so we get back to football. I apologize, everyone over here. This is not captivating. The chat is going wild on IG, so I got to make sure this situation's taken care of. So, Greedy Greg asks on Instagram Live, hey, man, they're called draft crushes for a reason. They come around, I get all hot and bothered. I'm like, oh, woo, you know how it goes. Those are the boys. But Greedy Greg asks, was Shanahan's offense built on play action? Wouldn't a mobile QB make sense here? Mac wouldn't draw an LB in at all. Again, that's a big part of why I really like Justin Fields, Trey Lance, the ability that they bring with their legs. It offers a different dynamic within the scheme. You can do a lot of different things, in my opinion, especially in the red zone. And if you're just showing, one of those quarterbacks with a designed RPO or just a straight up run, I would say 3, 4, 5 times a game, that's enough for defensive coordinators to have to modify their game plan to be able to key on certain things with the quarterback, which means safeties, linebackers, and edges will be spying the quarterback, which then changes the entire dynamic of the defense, which was what Kyle wants, which is what Kyle is always doing. He's always trying to essentially play to what the defense gives him. If the defense gives him something, he's going to find the weakness in it and attack it. So by having just the threat of having a quarterback that can run in Kyle's scheme, in my opinion, just opens up his offense so much more. And I'm not talking RG3 offense, what we saw in Washington, and the like straight up college style RPO offense. That's not what I'm talking about. Just a couple, plays here or there where they have to account for the quarterback. You think about all the motions with Ayuk and Debo, and how those could be turned into RPOs, like legitimate RPOs, where the defensive end has to now stay home. It changes so much for the offense. George is back, guys. George is back. Raheem called him this time. So I hope Raheem is doing well. Was he playing COD? Was he wrecking dudes in COD? Hey, Raheem's kind of nice at COD though. I'm not gonna lie. I suck at Call of Duty now. I used to be somewhat okay. Like I was getting there to where I was like, all right, my KDR is looking nice. I got my loadouts that I like, and then I just fell off so hard. I suck at Call of Duty now. But he was with his kids being that's such an underrated Raheem Mostert thing. Raheem Mostert is such a good dad. Raheem Mostert, he actually inspired me to take. I don't know if you guys saw the photo with one of his sons in his helmet. He inspired me to take one with one of my newborns, so that was a lot of fun. Dude, fries. Hey George, what's your game? I know you were streaming Rocket League. Are you still Fortnite guy, or are you Call of Duty now? Or what are you doing these days? What shoot 'em up games are we doing these days, Kittle? Kittle's? Oh, I saw Kittle and Trent on the Rocket League tournament they were doing. He's a Rocket League and COD guy. So I just got onto Rocket League like a couple months ago. That game is addicting as hell. It's super fun though. Of course, Halo 3 for George. Of course. How could you forget? Master Chief himself. But yeah, dude, if Kittle joined the live, that would be too litty. That would be too litty. But I know he's got lots of stuff to do. But I'd be loving Rocket League. I wish I played that a lot sooner. I don't know why. It's been out for years, and it's free. I don't know what took me so long. Later, Kittle. Thank you for joining the live. Kittle loves a beard, and we love Kittle in return. I appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, dang it, George. All right, we're going to do it. Okay, so, damn it. I'm so unprepared, George. All right, I got to turn this up. How are we going to do this? So George requested to go live. Oh, my goodness.
How are we doing today?
Dude, look at that hair.
I've got a flow today. I just want to say what's up and, compare beards a little bit. I think I'm more ginger than you are.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think you can compete with this gingerness.
Ooh, maybe.
Hey, I'm trying, dude. I'm getting there.
Oh, looking great, baby. I love it. Hey, your viewers jumped a little bit. I'll leave you with those.
Oh,
I gotta roll.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one, man.
See you guys.
Oh, dude. I love Kittle, man. I love Kittle. That's so awesome. If you guys don't know, again, I'm streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Kittle just hopped on the live. That was legit. His hair is looking magnificent, I might say. Absolutely glorious. Oh, we got Robert Tunyon in the chat. What's up, Robert? That hair I'm talking about is magnificent. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. This guy is legendary, dude. Big thanks to George for hopping on the live, even for 2 seconds to say what's up. That was dope. That was sick, bro. Gotta love George. George is a man of the people. The people's tight end. That's why. Just stopping by, say what's up. Gotta love it. He just, no problem. Just shot me up to like 4K viewers on live like that. That's wild. I should have asked him a quarterback question. No, that's the thing. I'm never asking any of these players any quarterback questions ever. Like, never happening. Kiddo's giving, hey, Raheem Mostert's in the chat. Raheem saying, Kittle's giving away free jerseys. You have to at him. So Kittle's giving away free jerseys. Go to his page and start adding him. Make sure you at him at least 4 to 5 times on his page. And he might send you a free jersey. And tell him Brad and Mostert sent him. Oh my goodness. Legendary. Hey, if Mostert, if you're still in here, George said he was just talking to you. George said he just got off the phone with you. Is that true? We got you in the chat now. Oh, man. That's funny, dude. That's so funny. Hey, again, we were just talking about it. I don't know how long Raheem's been here, but we were talking about Raheem. Raheem wrecks at COD, dude. Raheem wrecks at COD. I haven't seen George play. I've seen George play Rocket League. He's legit. He's legit at Rocket League. But Mostert, bro. Mostert be slaying dudes on COD. Mostert got me like re-energized to play Call of Duty. I was like, damn, Raheem. I was like, I gotta pick up the sticks. It's been way too long, and realize how quickly you fall off if you don't keep those muscles going. That muscle memory fades quick. Dwelly nice at Call of Duty too. I know George played with one dude. I forget his name. He had like an Instagram page. I was like, dude, this dude is next level. I forget his at. But yeah, if you guys be liking Call of Duty, bro, Raheem Mostert got some legendary streams. Definitely go hop on there. He be slaying dudes. Apparently, Ross the Boss, Peanut Butter Dwelly Time, is a legend at Call of Duty 2. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll save the live. Obviously, if you're just hopping on, George hopped on the live. His hair, whoo, that hair, dude, it's fire. He tried to say his beard is more ginger than mine. Sorry, nope. You can't out ginger this. You can't do it. I'm sorry. Just look at it. It's so red and so gingery. Ginger beard gang. Hey, but of course, Kittle, ginger beard gang all day. Let's go. The man had Jesus hair. Dude, I had to like double take. I was like, damn, George, that because his hair was like in front of his face. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. I haven't seen him in a minute. Our Lord and Savior, George Kittle. Hallelujah. Oh man. That was good. He got my live juiced up though. That was wild. Tons of people hopped in here. That was funny, dude. That was super, super funny. Oh man. It's wild, bro. I mean, I'm blessed at the end of the day. Like, it's just really cool that, like, you know, Kittle just hopped on my live. Mostert's in the chat. Like, dude, it's just awesome, man. Like, I gotta enjoy these moments, dude, because it's a lot of fun, dude. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just a big old football nerd, and being able to chat with these guys, man, it's just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. We need Fred Warner in here, and Big Fred. Hey, someone's got to get Bosa, man. Bosa be creeping on social media. He don't actually be putting his face out there. Come through, Bosa. Let's go. I'd love to go live with Mostert, dude. We'll set up a time, man. I want to get these guys on here. it's a hard time. You know, I want to go live with these guys and these players, but again, we're so hyper focused on quarterbacks. Like, I don't even want to bring up the conversation. I don't want to broach it. I don't like, but you know, we'd have so many other things to talk about. Dude, one of the things about Raheem, man, like, I'll never forget that Atlanta game. I think, you know, we lost on that last play to Julio Jones by an inch or whatever it was. But I just remember, man, like at that point, Raheem Mostert kind of took over the starting running back role and was playing so well for us. But that dude was still coming down on Gunner, on special teams, making tackles, playing his ass off. Dude, Mostert's one of those dudes you just got to have mad respect for. Like, mad respect for how he approaches the. Oh, dude, I could go on for days about Mostert and his path to the NFL. He's a perfect example why you never give up. He's a perfect example of why you never throw in the towel. Perfect example of that. So we just have some good guys on this team, man. We got great guys on this team. You know, eventually my goal would be to, you know, get on here and talk football. Like, at the end of the day, I don't like talk narratives with like the real football players, like, who are in the middle of it. I just want to talk X's and O's at the end of the day. But I'm excited. I'm all hyped up, dude. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. We had Raheem in here. We had Kittle in here. Kittle hopped on for a second looking like the Holy One. That was legendary, bro. That was legendary. Hey, no Mostert slander is allowed here. We don't care. No Mostert slander is allowed on this channel. I don't know if you guys have noticed, we stand up for our players here. We stand up for our guys. There's plenty of people out there who are going to take their jabs and call them what you called them. Not here. Not here. Those are our guys. We got our guys' backs. That was sick. Well, that was cool. Dude, I'm all frazzled, bro. I'm all frazzled. I don't even know what to talk about. Oh, this was just supposed to be like some random live. Like, I was like, oh, Mac Jones at 3, right? We're getting Mac. All that kind of stuff. Whoo. All kinds of stuff. Robbie Gould in the chat. Yeah, we don't hate around here. We show love. We understand what it's like to grind for football. We know that that's tough, man. Football is cutthroat. There's enough people cutting them down that won't beat up. That won't be us. We'll talk about it objectively. We'll talk about things objectively. But yeah. So again, I'm streaming from multiple places. So I do have to apologize to my YouTube guys, my Facebook guys. George Kittle, Raheem Mostert have got me all flustered like a little schoolgirl. They both jumped on the live. So that was really cool. And I'm trying to now get this back on track. I don't know if it will get back on track. But at this point, I don't care because that was a lot of fun. Yeah, we got to 1,000 on YouTube. We got to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So again, I appreciate all of you guys who helped me do that. That was pretty awesome, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep climbing. Yeah, I don't know. That was fun. We got to talk some video games to George Kittle. That was legit. All right. So what am I supposed to talk about now? I feel like anything would be anticlimactic at this point. Oh. Hey, Kiddo loves the beard. I actually got to take a picture of that because that's legendary. Sorry for the pause. Hold on one sec. my guy said, I've never had a man's hair get me excited for football season, but like that's what I'm saying, man. Kittle came on the live, just showing those crazy locks. That was funny. So what are we talking about? Help me get on track, guys. Help me get back. What are we talking about? We already talked a lot about Mac Jones. We touched on Jimmy. What are we talking about? I would say maybe 5-10 minutes. 5-10 minutes, and then we'll bounce off. What do we want to talk about? Okay, here's one from YouTube. What player in the second round talk? We're done talking quarterbacks at 3. So I think there's going to be some good edge guys available. Someone that hasn't got a lot of hype up until this point, Boogie Basham out of Wake Forest. With the addition of Ebukam being a speed guy, I like the idea of Boogie Basham in the second round at pick 43 because he can play all over the defensive line. Not only can he play on the edge, but he can play in the 3-tech. And even at the Senior Bowl, he was head up on the center in that 0-tech and did some work. So I like that. I like a guy like that who can supplement what we already have. Obviously, with Bosa, Ebukam, and all that good stuff. I like them as our starting pair. The reports with D Ford coming back, hell yeah. Like if we can get D Ford back in any capacity, that would be fantastic. But at the same time, why not continue to build out that position? I know we have multiple packages that we like to roll out. So Boogie Basham is a guy that I could kind of see play in multiple positions in multiple fronts. So that's what I like about him. I like his versatility. I like his grittiness. He plays with a mean streak. He has the ability to be, I think, a legitimate player in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be a big sack guy. I don't think he's going to put up a ton of production in that regard, but he's going to be one of those guys that collapses the pocket, brings interior pressure, and again, is going to be kind of like that versatility tool across the defensive line. So he's a guy that I've been liking a lot. Another guy that can play edge is Ronnie Perkins out of Oklahoma. He's legit. He's a motor guy. He can do kind of play everything in the sense of I could see him going from edge to outside linebacker. I don't necessarily see Perkins getting kicked inside at all. But with Perkins, he is one of those effort guys. He's like a Samson Ebukam in regards to effort. So he's always putting himself in position to make plays. He's always in the right spot because of that effort. And he has great tools that come along with it. He's not the biggest guy. I can't remember what his measurables are off the top of my head. But Ronnie Perkins right there at 43, again, you cannot have enough people in the trenches. I really don't care that the 49ers have taken, what did we like last 6 out of the 7 drafts we've taken D-line. that's how it stacks. I mean, and look at how that 2019 came together. 2019 team came together. That pass rush was a huge reason why we went 13-3, went on to the Super Bowl, and all of that good stuff. So I'm all for rebuilding that. Again, you're getting Kinlaw back. Kinlaw is a savage. Kinlaw is just getting started. We haven't even seen the beginning of what Kinlaw can be. So we get a healthy Bosa. And again, one of these edge guys at 43 is also a bit of security. It's a bit of a security blanket. You know, you never know how some of these guys are going to bounce back from injury. You just don't. So, and again, same thing with D Ford. Reports are he's going to be back and be playing for us in 2021. But again, you just don't know. So get a cost-controlled guy that you can have on the roster for 4 years on a rookie contract who can play multiple roles, can play special teams, and then eventually slot in to kind of that starting type role if that becomes available. There's a bunch of other guys that I like that I'm hopeful that they fall. I don't think they'll be there. I think we can go ahead and cross off Greg Newsome, cornerback out of Northwestern. I mean, he's with Caleb Farley's injury. Greg Newsome is that next type of cornerback to have those similar type traits that Farley has. So a team could fall in love with Greg Newsome. I could see a team taking Greg Newsome as the first cornerback off the board, above J.C. Horn, above Surtain, because Greg Newsome offers a lot. Excuse me. He really has plus traits that, again, I think some of the other top cornerbacks don't have. When I looked at Farley and then I watched, because Farley was my number one cornerback. Obviously, he's going to drop due to his back injury. But the next guy I looked at was Greg Newsome, and they look very similar from a traits perspective. And those are the type of traits that I personally value. Again, what I value might not be what the 49ers value or what their scouts value or any of that. But just for me, from my personal standpoint, I value what Greg Newsome brings to the table. Would not be shocked to see him now be the first cornerback off the board. I think he ran a 4.3 140. Again, we don't get caught up on 40 times and things like that. It just helps supplements what we see on tape, game speed that is already existing and what have you. So again, we've talked about offensive line guys that could be available. Quinn Miners could be available. Landon Dickerson could be available. I would definitely be open and willing to see those guys on the roster. I think that would be a lot of fun. But also, too, we start talking about wide receiver, I think, at this point. Do we want to take a guy like a Diami Brown, maybe Elijah Moore falls, maybe I think Kadarius Toney could be available, but I'm not sure from a fit standpoint that's who we want. But there are plenty of guys later on in this class that can fit exactly what we're looking for. Or again, what I'm looking for from that wide receiver 3 archetype. Big Mom said it. St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I love him. I think he's going to go a lot higher than people have him. I think he would be fantastic in our scheme because he's a guy who can do everything and do everything well. Plus, he's a mean son of a gun. I like him a lot. I like Amon-Ra a lot. I think he's slept on right now. I think that's a guy that will be higher on teams boards than media boards. So he's someone I like. But again, it'll be interesting to see who is really available there at 43. Honestly, I could go on and on and on and on and on about potential guys available at 43. So I might have to spin that off into it's like own individual episode. So I will stop there because, like I said, I could go on and on and on and on and on. about who's going to be there at 43, which again we haven't talked much about. So I'm gonna holster that one. The rest of my guys for different episodes. Yeah, that's right. I'm teasing you guys. You got to come back for more content. My guy says, I see you keep that Cholula on you. I got some hot sauce right there. Good eye. All right. I'm going to take one more question. And then we'll part ways for the time being. It seems like the common theme is to post this on Instagram Live to my feed, because I know you guys want to see George and his beautiful locks. So that might happen. So I'll give you guys about 30 seconds to submit some questions. Last one came from Instagram, so I'm kind of got my eye over here on my YouTube, Facebook folks. If you guys want to send something, you might get the upper leg. You guys are wild. I'm done talking about QBs for now. Don't ask me a quarterback question. Still waiting for the one. Ooh. I kind of like that one. All right. I'll do it. Okay. So Johnny asked, what linebackers do I like? Which I think that is an underrated position in regards to this draft that we haven't touched on a ton, honestly. So I'm a big Zaven Collins guy out of Tulsa. I think it's clear as day that Zaven Collins will go in the first round. Zaven Collins is insane. He's 6'4", 260, and he was graded out as the best coverage linebacker in college football last year at 6'4", 260 pounds. You turn on the tape of Zaven Collins. Zaven Collins is a sight to see. I mean, that guy, the way he closes and shoots the gap, at his size, it is unreal. Like, that guy should not move like that. That guy should be playing defensive end or something, but he plays in space. He plays in coverage. He's a freak. He's legit, and he should go in the first round. He should absolutely go in the first round. Someone that, you know, I was on early, but you can't hide guys like that. You just can't. You can't hide guys like that. You can't hide guys like JOK from Notre Dame. Again, another one of these hybrid guys who could play outside linebacker, who could play safety, who could play big nickel. That's what I think the 49ers are looking for, or should be looking for, in regards to linebackers. Are these hybrid safety nickel type outside linebackers. Do I like the safety from TCU? Trevon Moehrig, I think, is one of the best players in this entire class. He should be considered a top 10 pick. I don't know why no one talks about him. He must have some dirt on him or something. I don't know why it doesn't get talked about a lot. But another guy that I like at linebacker that I think could be available at 43 if that's the route they decide to go, Chaz Surratt out of North Carolina. Man, you guys want to see like a clone of Fred Warner? Go put on his tape. It's really hard to watch Chaz Surratt and not feel like you're watching BYU Fred Warner. It really does feel like that. He has the same type of skill set. He honestly looks like he could play safety, but they had him playing middle linebacker, I believe. And the way that he closes in on the ball and goes after and hunts guys, like, he's legit. I like Chaz a lot. He hasn't gotten talked about too much throughout this process, which I find a bit interesting. But he's a guy that I think could be good. I came on to Jamin Davis just recently. You see the tools that he has on tape. So you can see how his plus athletic traits could be a benefit to a team. You see how he can use that to his benefit on tape. I think he is kind of in that second round category as well. I'm not sure if his measurables push him up to the first. There's a lot of talented guys in this class. So I don't know. I don't know if Jamin's ready to take that step yet, but his traits are nice. He's a really good traits guy. Nick Bolton doesn't get talked a lot about from Missouri. He's just kind of like your all-around 3-down thumper kind of a guy who does have plus traits as well. So I think he could be a benefit. Jabril Cox, I think, is a developmental prospect at this point. I think there's a couple things that he puts on tape that leaves me wanting a little bit more. But in regards to his frame and his measurables, the sky's the limit. I just want to see him be a little bit more aggressive, take a little bit better angles and things like that. But he has the tools to be able to be legitimate. And again, so I would say, someone said Jabril Cox would be incredible in coverage as a hybrid. I kind of see him as a better fit as a hybrid, as a coverage linebacker than someone that you want, in the mess, mixing it up. It doesn't really seem like that's necessarily his game, but he has the tools to do it. It's just kind of putting it all together. So he's another guy. But yeah, I think I might stop it there because I could go on and on about these draft prospects. We're an hour 20 in. I think we'll wrap it. I would say it's been a successful live. Kittle joined the live, so that was nice. If you're just joining me now, we got to see Kittle and his glorious locks. He's got the ginger beard going too. He appreciates the beard. So, of course, we appreciate him back for appreciating this. We had Mostert in the chat for a little while. So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I love when that unexpected stuff happens. And again, we're still working behind the scenes to bring you guys more content and just really get this thing ramped up leading up till the draft. So again, stay tuned. We're going to keep diving. We're not going to only talk about quarterbacks. I promise. We're going to talk about other things. We talked a little bit just now about some linebackers and some wide receivers and edge guys. We're going to get a little bit more focused on that as time progresses. But obviously, the conversation is dominated by the quarterback position. So we'll see where it takes us. Trying to think what's today. Tuesday. I'm on dad duty after this, so I don't know if I will be live again today. So probably tomorrow. I think I got a couple things tomorrow. I think I got a pod. I got to double check. I think I got a pod engagement to be a guest on around 3. And then me and my guy Jordan typically do our pod around 6. I'll probably do a live around, I think this kind of 1 o'clock time is becoming a little sweet spot for me. So might come back on at about 1 tomorrow. So, I mean, the point is we're coming at you with content. That's the point. That's the point. Stay tuned. Follow. You know, I got to do the influencer thing, right? Follow, like, subscribe. We appreciate all of it. It really helps us continue doing what we're doing to bring you guys the content that you deserve. So again, I appreciate everyone. Really excited to get this thing rolling with the draft. And who knows, maybe we'll get George back on here. We'll see. All right, guys, I'm out.